Yo, 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 yo.
What is up? Mic test, mic test. It's your boy Joe Hot and your boy Quizzy, aka Rex Snowshoe.
Oh, man, how it going, man? What's cracking, shouty?
Today's gonna be quite the eventful live stream. Is gonna be talking about some HP washing, as the title might suggest. Let me just get
Yes,
this
sir.
popping. Let me get this chat out. Let me go share this live stream to the Discord.
Nice. I just got tagged. Oh, wait, it was something else. Yo, I'm selling like a bunch of One Piece cards to someone locally, and
Uh huh. I can't add everyone because I don't have the role. Could you do it for me? I'll link you the here.
sure.
I'll put it in general.
Everyone in general?
Yeah. All right. What's going on, guys? We're gonna let people start pulling up. Yeah, the One
But yeah,
Piece trading card.
I'm about to cash out on like $200 worth of One Piece cards, and this is gonna pay
God
for
damn.
my first round of hair rolls and 90-day annex on Classic World. So we're slow steady making a fun for it. I actually just went to
God damn.
BMO. I went to BMO today, and I started a
The
separate
bank.
savings account just for Classic World. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're crazy for
Yeah.
that. How much?
So
Like, how much do you intend on spending, like monthly, on a monthly basis?
so I'm actually working on a video right now. It's probably gonna come out. What day is it today? Wednesday. It'll probably
Wednesday.
come out sometime this weekend.
Okay.
Um, I don't want to go too much into what the video is about,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
it'll talk about how much players can expect to spend on the game.
Okay.
Because like you and I both know this game. Well, I don't want to like cause major debate right now, but I have my thoughts, and I'll be sharing that soon.
Bad. All right, sounds good to me, man. So, what is
Yeah,
up,
man.
everybody? I think we'll get started here. Welcome to the official 2025 Classic Maplestory HP washing debate. I'm sure some of
Yo,
you were expecting
let's get
this,
it.
some of you might not been, and we're gonna need your help in the chat. Anyone in the chat who has a vocal opinion about HP washing, you guys are OSMS heads. You either like it, you hate it, you're indifferent. We need to know your thoughts, okay? Because we're also kind of confused on that whole debacle. However, in case somebody out there, in case any of the viewers don't know, I'm going to go ahead and briefly explain what HP washing is with this whiteboard over here. Okay, this is an AP reset. First, you're going to want to know what this is. For now, Cuisine, if you don't mind, you can cater towards the chat while I explain this. Feel free to jump in whenever you want.
All right, someone named Cuisine says this live stream sucks. Do I
Damn.
ban him?
Yeah, you should ban him.
Yeah.
Ban everybody who disagrees with. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
For real. Okay, so just like Joe Hawk said, tonight we're discussing AP resets. You guys
Mm-hmm.
might have seen he had a video out just like 2-3 days ago
Mm-hmm.
about OSMS versus modern MapleStory. I had a video out this morning. Was it this morning? Yeah, I think it
Yeah, it
was.
was
Was it this morning?
very
Was it
early this
this morning?
morning. That shit woke me
Early
up.
this morning. I was talking about AP resets, and I think there's a lot of discussion that's involved in the topic because unlike a class tier list, for example, which is the previous live stream we did
Yeah.
uh, related to Classic MapleStory, it's very cut and dry. Like you have different specs for the classes, what they do, what role they fit into the game, and
Yeah.
the outlook we have on them. With HP washing, it's not something that is as streamlined because there's a couple ways of how HP washing can be done. One of them, and the one that most of us knows, involves AP resets. So we're gonna start off the stream by going through what exactly is HP washing.
Yep.
It's gonna take us probably a couple minutes,
Yep.
and then we're gonna go through how likely this is to make its way onto Classic World, and then the different uh, kind of alternatives that we might potentially see. Like
Indeed.
obviously the first one originally back in 2006, how it worked, and then modern day, quote unquote, based on what people have been discovering, quote unquote, on sandbox environments. I don't get too specific, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like that's another way of doing it, and then maybe like a hybrid way of HP washing, where I guess HP washing is more like the term that we coined, right? But in realistically, it just means increasing your character's HP without presetting it. So
Right.
unlike GMS, where someone logs on, like if they make a Night Lord, if they make a Aran, both of them will have the same HP by the end of the game.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is like you still start off, you still get like a little bit less. I forgot what the exact numbers are, but your base HP will still be less and will be original to what the classes originally had. But just throughout the game, you'll have more opportunity to make up for that difference. That's what we like to call a hybrid way of HP washing.
Right,
And then
right,
the
right.
fourth scenario that Joe Hawk and I will discuss is equal scaling. So instead of just like it basically just think of GMS. Like everyone spawns into the game with the same exact HP.
Hmm.
So that's kind of my thoughts. Jog, you want to take it away and just kind of tell everyone how HP washing works?
Sure. So for me, I only learned about HP washing last year, just last year. It took me a couple months to understand the whole thing. For the first thing I want to say is you can only really know how HP washing works until you try it out yourself. If you just know the math because you read it somewhere online, it's not the same thing. I just wanted to make that clear. But anyways, this is an AP reset. What you see right here, this is an AP reset. It's 3.1K NX, which is $3.10 USD, correct?
Three
Without
dollars and 10 cents USD. And back in the day, 2006, it was $3.10 Canadian as well, bro. Now that shit's like $6, bro.
Yo,
It's
true,
I don't want
true.
to talk about it, bro. Yo, $6
Anyways,
and
us Canadians are fucked. Either way, though.
yo, make sure you go out and vote this weekend, guys. Anyways,
So there's six. When you level up, you get 5 points into your AP, correct? Right?
yeah,
You usually put that into your strength, dex, int, luck, depending on your class. However, there's a secret method. Not a lot of people know this, but you can also put it into your HP and your NP, right? So I'm a boom right there. So
yeah.
warriors have this skill in their first job where if you max it out, the more points you put into your HP, you get more points per point that you put in. Okay,
Yeah.
mages get that, but in MP, all right, that means that thieves and bowmen get shit for luck when it comes to this whole HP washing thing. HP washing, when you think of HP washing, it's usually catered towards the thieves and the bowmen because they're both very squishy. There's this discourse online saying like, oh well, these classes are albeit strong and they're ranged. However, they get one shot from bosses like Zakum, Pink Bean, Horntail. That's why HP washing comes into play. So with
Yes, sir.
every 10 int, okay, every 10 intelligence that you have, it doesn't matter what class you are, every 10 intelligence that you own on your character, you get one bonus MP per level up, all right? I should make that fucking blue, but whatever.
Sounds good.
There's actually a difference though, because there's int that you get from putting the points with your AP, right? The 5 AP that you get. There's also a int that you get from either Maple Warrior and equipment, right? Let's say for example, like helmet for int. Let's say you have like a 20 int green bandana. That wearing that green bandana, whenever you level up, you'll get 2 bonus MP, if that makes sense, right? You want MP because before you HP wash, you actually need to MP wash. MP washing basically means you level up, you put your 5 points into your mana, click, 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 click. And depending on how much int you have from your base int, you get more mana per click. Now you get that mana, and as long as you put 1 point allocated into your HP or MP when you level up, the 5, you have a pool in your HP mana, like AP pool, and then using an AP reset, you can take your MP pool because you don't need MP. The only class that needs MP is mage. You can have like 500 MP and you're fine. You just buy some mana pots.
Mm-hmm.
You transfer that over to your HP, okay? And depending on your class, this can be very efficient or very inefficient. The most efficient HP washer is the warrior. This is why warriors don't need that much AP resets to get to max health. On the other hand, thieves and bowmen, I don't know what the specific number is, but it's like 16 mana or 14 mana for 16 health. That's the conversion rate.
Mm-hmm.
The more mana that you get, and each level is very important, okay? The more int that you have, the more mana that you just currently have, the more MP you can convert into HP. This is how HP washing works. Now that's fine and dandy, but this is a fucking cash item, and this is why people are so you know, that's why they're so upset about stuff like this. Because
Yeah.
in certain places that we won't mention, you can get NX for free. And if you get NX for free, it's all about time. It's all about, investing your time, voting and whatnot to get enough NX to create your fucking 30,000 health Night Lord, OP as fuck Night Lord. And now here is why this is good, and here is why this is bad. It's good because now these thieves and bowmen and marksmen and chief bandits, whatever your class may be, they can get to HP levels that rival the warrior. Okay, this technically is an exploit, so to speak. So your Nexon did not expect you to do this. This is something that people discovered as the game kept going. I believe
Mhm.
Tiger or somebody who's friends with Tiger discovered it in the beginning, but I'm not too sure about that. But not a lot of people did this. In fact, this is honestly not even necessary. The reason why people are so upset about it is there's this thought that HP washing is mandatory for you to like survive at bosses. I personally don't believe that.
Mhm.
But I do agree that yes, doing HP washing is the min max way to play the game, right? And in this modern world, like we've understood old school Maplestory for so long now that HP washing is just something that even the casuals understand. And the
Yeah.
casuals are a bit afraid, right? My issue with HP washing is not whether it should exist. I personally think it should exist, but that's not the case, or that's not the issue right now. My issue is that people expect people to HP wash. And when they start learning about HP washing, they're like, oh, fuck, this is so complicated. It kind of kills their motivation to play the game ultimately, right?
Mhm.
And that's a big problem because we don't want people to be scared of video games. We want people to just have fun. And this kind of throws a wrench into the whole thing because it is simple. It is actually quite simple, but it's hard to understand in the beginning, and it's also very daunting to think about when you think about how much fucking NX you need to be able to like
I just
complete the
want
game.
to quickly chime in.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you're saying, and one thing that I saw the most, again, just going back to what we were talking about, that sandbox test environment that we see some people,
Yeah.
tweaking with HP watching here and there. What we found, the most common to see, right? Varying degrees of people's acceptance levels towards HP washing. The people that are fully embracing it are typically those that have a lot of time to commit to the game,
Yeah.
and they were coached right when they first started. When they first started the game, we're like, play bishop,
Yeah.
get a bishop to 120, get Genesis, make your attacker, click int all the way when you're until you're like 150 base int, and then
Yeah.
just leech it, right? We tell
Yeah.
them to do that. Now,
That is the ideal way. Yeah.
tell everyone to do that if they're willing to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the players that can actually commit the time and they are in it for the long haul, as you said, Justin,
Yeah.
um, they play the game. Like they play it for a long time. They enjoy it. They're fully. I wouldn't venture as much to say it's min max. It's not really min maxing as much as it is playing the game optimally, right? Min maxing means you log on, you instantly go grind, you reset how many FM stores a day, you make sure you hit all your dailies. That's min maxing. But what we're talking about min maxing is just your progression path to achieving your goal. Like it's the most optimized way to progressing. Like we're not saying that you can't um, go do PQs more than you really should be doing PQs. We're not saying that you can't go hang out in Genesis with friends for an afternoon. That's not what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But then the players that we don't see or we see tend to gravitate away from HP washing are people that, number one, by the time we met them, maybe they already sank 20 hours to play a bandit, for example. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, like I'm already so deep, right? Like I don't want
Right.
to read my
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, something like that. Or they're just like, maybe they'll think of trying it out and then they'll start playing a cleric. And then as soon as they start playing a cleric, they're like, man, I don't even like playing a cleric. And that's just when they default back to playing.
Right. 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 Yeah. That's
So
the
those
thing.
are different situations I see. But yeah, you were saying?
To add upon that, like what I've been writing down on the screen right now is basically if your knowledge of OSMS, right? Like you said, you start off with a cleric or maybe a mage or something that doesn't need to HP wash, essentially, right? To get your to get your ground up, you start with like a mage. This is why people who are good at the game, they're like go cleric first, even though you don't like it. It'll help down the line. Okay, but the thing is, a lot of these new OSMS players or returning OSMS players, they remember the game how they remember it as a kid. You know what I mean? I want to play my Dexless Sin or my hero, and I want to get, I don't get high levels. I want to go to levels that I've never been before. I'm the same. I've never been to level 150 in my life. But I consider myself quite knowledgeable in this game, and I understand that doing it the way that these people recommend you to play, they're not just saying that because they want you to quit, right? Even though it does feel that way. They're saying this because they don't want you to quit ultimately. And if you do it this way, you will be able to HP wash, so to speak. However, there's the other side where it's like, well, I don't want to HP. I don't want to do all this shit. I don't care. Like, I just want to play the game. And the fact that there's this wall that's basically like a complicated mess, which is also just paywalled if you consider if MapleStory Classic, releases AP resets the way that it works in old school MapleStory. There's not going to be the motivation to do shit like that. They'd go play other games at that point, right?
Mhm.
Only like diehards, people who really like this game might consider. Like for me, I fucking love this game. When I realized that Young Deeve would not be able to survive Horntail or Pink Bean, it didn't discourage me, but I can see somebody who was like seeing that character as their main realize they need to start over from the beginning. And hey, remember, it's not hard. It's not easy to get the third job, fourth job in Maple. It's very hard to. It's a very big time sink to do this. So
Mhm.
I understand that perspective, and that's why this is why people say start with a bishop, then go with your main. And then new players, what they do is they play their main first. They realize they're fucked, right? They realize they're absolutely dicked on because they decided to play the way that they wanted to. They just wanted to have fun, okay? And they might never look back at the game because of that fact, right? Because maybe nobody told them, or maybe they ignored it. And then they realize, oh, well, now I'm serious and I've gotten this character that doesn't matter anymore, especially if it is like a bowman or a thief, right? But
Yes, sir.
but that is basically HP washing to a T. It is something that is a mechanical exploit. I would call
Mistake.
it a mechanical exploit.
Yeah, yo, make sure you censor out the F word, mate.
Oh, you're
If it's
right. You're
been on the
right. You're
screen
right.
that long, you might get in trouble.
You are very right. But anyways, that's my explanation of HP washing. I think people understand. They also understand the whole noob introduction thing where, hey, just so you know, if HP washing does exist in a game of MapleStory, old school MapleStory that you're playing, you're gonna want to start with something that doesn't need HP washing, and then invest in your main character. Don't invest in your main character first, otherwise you're gonna spend more time, either restarting or trying to fix that mess that you initially started. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
and just to add on to that, right? Because all of this is information that we have shared together based on our knowledge. But when MapleStory Classic World comes out, it's going to be a completely different game,
yes,
and a few of the variables that we're mentioning might change. Like for example, as you're saying, when you when you first make a character, you cannot like you have no resources, right? That's not true. That like very likely will not be true when it
mm,
comes to classic world. You will very likely be able to charge $30, roll some gachapons, get some basic mesos to start
right,
out. And with that, if you really want to buy leech, I'm sure there's a way of buying leech. Maybe not if you're playing during the first week of the game,
definitely
but
not.
maybe
Maybe
2 months into the game.
I'd say a year into the game, leeching will probably be like a thing, unless you're
Nah,
talking
dude,
like roar.
bro, I will tell you right now, if
Okay.
HP washing exists, I don't
Yeah.
care if it's pay to win. I don't care if it's well, I shouldn't use the V word. V word's kind of
Yo,
forbidden,
what
but
up, Brando?
if it's clicking a few times a day on different websites with maybe a TOP and a 100 in the URL,
Uh huh.
I will make a cleric first. I'll get it to third job.
Yeah.
Assuming third job out, I will shining ray to leech a Night Lord. I'll leech my own Night
Oh,
Lord.
I see.
Leech
Like,
this will take me a month. Well, maybe I might take a little bit longer depending on how work goes, but it's gonna be fast. And if I cannot leech a angel ray, sorry, if third job doesn't exist,
Mm,
but we know for a fact, confirmed HP washing exists, confirmed it's in the cash shop, confirmed you
yeah,
can do it, you can pull away 4 MP and indeed get however
yeah,
many, 16 to 20 HP.
yeah.
I will make an ice lightning and use Thunderbolt to leech my Night Lord. Like it's
Same,
happening. Like,
same. I
that's how
mean,
meta it is, man.
that's. I mean, I'm gonna do that regardless if HP washing exists or not, because like it's
Yeah, you're gonna
so
make it.
fucking
You're gonna make
freeload
it useful.
to farm on like a mage compared to like a thief. Like I've been playing a thief. If you guys don't know, I've been playing like just the Dexless Sin on an OSMS server, and that shit is tough, bro. Single target Lucky 7 until level 70 or level 80 is tough. You can just
Yeah,
be level 40, max out your heal, and just stay at like a zombie Lupins forever. You can literally hold down the button, and it's free. Invite your
yeah.
guy to
So
your
real quick,
party, boom.
Red Lego says, I do not want to spend more than $60 on this dog water game. I think if you want to be like the minimal spend player, like you just want to get like the basic necessities, I think 60 bucks is more than sufficient, so you'll be just fine. Rika Full says, have you guys talked about how characters are seen starting out with higher HP than standard? We haven't talked about it yet. It's gonna be a topic we address later, but definitely thank you for bringing that up. It's something that we
Yeah.
have observed. And
There's
it's
also
like
the
listen.
guard function. Like I don't know if you saw that, but like there's like a I don't know what the guard means. I don't think it
Was
just
there a
means
guard
miss.
function? I didn't see that. Was there a guard function?
Yeah, I think like on Coppersan's video or something, like I remember seeing like a
Oh, I swear, like they make all these changes. Like, bro, just
yeah.
keep it original, man. Like, god damn. And then Sixscape says this is like listening to billionaires plan to buy out the market the second it opens, bro. Hey, just golden rule to Maplestory. Doesn't matter what server you play on. Golden rule of Maplestory. The better you're doing in game, the worse your real life is. Okay, just remember that.
That
So
is
don't get jealous.
facts. That is facts. That is facts. Don't get jealous
All
of people who are pros because they're probably GG in life, okay? I'm perfect example of this. Anyways,
Shout out to Niru, by the way.
shout outs to my boy Niru. Niru's the GOAT. Togain's the GOAT. Just saying. Where were we though? We've explained what HP washing is, so everyone's
So we
caught up
explained
on
what
HP
HP
washing.
washing is. I'm sure a lot of people in chat knows what HP washing is. I don't see any questions right now, so maybe we can move on to our first. Just open the floodgates, right? So
Sure.
the scenarios we're gonna talk about. There's currently 4 known ways of addressing HP washing, and again, just
Omar.
talking about the topic of HP washing in general. It's just a coined phrase that everyone uses.
Yeah.
Realistically, we're trying to talk about how character HPs will scale with the game as
Yeah.
a character progresses. Okay, so the first way will be um, based on your 2006 to 2008 methods of increasing HP, which is the most pure form of HP washing. You
Mm-hmm.
have AP resets, they're in the cash shop, they're three bucks a pop, or a little bit more than $3 a pop. And you just gotta buy 5 of them every single level. Every level will essentially cost you $15 on top of
Oh
all the
God.
in gear you'll need to find.
Yeah.
And if you were back in 2008 and you had a 30k HP Night Lord, I don't know what you were doing back then, but you were probably one of the coolest people in the game.
You were
So
probably
that's
sick as fuck. People were sharing your shit on Basil Market, South Perry type shit, and you had a lot of money.
yeah, a lot of money. So that's the first scenario, and I'll let you start, Joe Hawk. What do you think about this version? And like, we're not Maple historians right now. We're not talking about, oh yeah, did you think this was cool? Like, we're talking about if they bring this 1-to-1
Yes.
over to Classic World. What do you
Okay,
think?
so this is what I think will happen. Personally speaking, if this happened in classic MapleStory, I would be fine. Because think about my scenario. I'm almost like Niru. I think even Niru has a job. I am jobless, okay? I'm a NEET. So I will be playing the game. My currency will be time in MapleStory Classic. And a lot of you guys play MapleStory Classic. Your currency will be time. It really depends on how you use it. But if this 2006 HP washing method, aka the thing that I just explained for the past 10 minutes, 10 minutes ago, if AP resets are tradable, they would become a form of currency, okay? If HP washing is the way it is in like certain servers that people play on right now,
You mean
HP
environments? Environments.
environments, my bad. HP washing would not only become common knowledge because everyone would be doing it, but it would also become a form of currency, if that makes sense. So people who are really good at merching, who are really good at making money, they'll be able to HP wash, quote unquote, for free by buying the mesos or buying the AP resets with mesos, right?
Hmm.
Now, not everyone can do this, but at the same time, you can also pay to win if you really wanted to. I'm saying
So
this,
that's the bigger thing though, right?
yeah,
Because so I think I'm actually on the opposite side
sure,
than you on this. I don't think like we're talking here about AP resets being in the cash shop for
yeah,
$3 a pop,
yeah.
being the only way to increase your character's HP,
Yes, the
right?
only way to,
Only way. So
yes,
I think that's a terrible idea because
okay,
sure, like in the first month or the first 2 months when the game comes out, yeah, everyone's
yeah.
gonna be happy jumping around KPQ, LPQ, Ludi Maze PQ. I missed that PQ by the way. Maybe Carnival PQ, who knows? But
Ooh, Carnival's
once you get into
BQ.
like, the level 90 to 120 range,
Mm-hmm.
the difference is gonna be massive. Like the players that whaled out 400 bucks, 500 bucks on their character,
Right.
you can really start seeing a difference. And the players that just refuse to spend money, like, of course
Mm.
you want to spend money, right? Like Red Lego was saying, 60 bucks is gonna get you nowhere under the system. 60 bucks,
Mm-hmm.
like what, like 4 levels worth of
Mm-hmm.
AP resets?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't support this as at all. I do see a world, and we'll talk about this later, where it's a hybrid system. So yes, the whales can buy AP resets for $3 a pop,
Mm-hmm.
but the regular players, we can get it through quests, we can get it through events, and on top of that, and you can probably tell that I'm pro this hybrid solution right now because
Yep, yep, yep.
I think if Nexon puts AP resets in the cash shop, and the lawyers, the doctors who work 80-hour weeks, right? They just wanna blow some racks at
Yeah.
the hard week's end, right?
Yeah.
They can go and buy these things, and not only will it reward the players who's looking to spend money into the game. You
Mm-hmm.
guys, a lot of people always think spending money into the game is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's the reason why the game even exists. If no one spends
Right.
money, why would Nexon give us Classic World?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have you guys seen how much money Reboot has made for Nexon in like the last like 3-4 years? Like, it's insane. There's no reason for Nexon to introduce Classic World if they don't think they can monetize from it.
Okay.
So
On that thought, though, okay, so Nexon wants money, which is why there's a good chance the AP resets might be the way that they are. But what if do you think there's a world where they reduce the price of AP resets? What if they were like 1,000 NX?
1,000, like we're still talking about you can only get it from the cash shop,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's still
No, no,
technically
no.
pay to win.
As long as you can only get it from the cash shop,
Yeah.
it's a no-go. Because look, 1,000 NX, $5 per level. You level 100 times. That's $500, man. That's $400, man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if you're min maxing it, yeah, it is $500. Hey, hey,
Yeah, and it's
and I
like
also
it's
wanted to
not your
say,
only expense. Like, there's other shit that you can pay. Yo, at that point, you can just buy a fucking vac pen on Reboot, bro. Like,
like,
that's way too much.
what I want to say though is if we were in this scenario where it is the way it is, I would not even be HP washing because I consider that a waste of money. I'd honestly just be merching AP resets, to be honest with you. Does that like? For me, it's not about I want to AP reset. I just want that engine to exist so I can take part of like the whole market thing.
For
Like,
sure, but there's other ways of
yes,
that.
of course, yeah. And then
Yeah.
I guess we can move on then, like, because like
Yep.
supposedly
Sure.
speaking, because for me, I just want to make this clear. I do like saying I do like being supportive for AP HP washing and the whole AP reset thing, and I know that's not a very um, agreeable take, but just so you know, it's not because I want to become 30k HP. It's more that I understand the existence of whales and people who will spend money. And like you
No,
said,
for sure.
man,
Like you're on the merch camp of things, right? So
yes, I'm a big maple merchant, and for me,
yeah, yeah.
it only makes because I'm also a very self-centered person, and for me, AP Recess existing is just another form for me to make money, to me to earn money, and even, and we'll get to that, right? We're gonna be talking about hybrid soon, but like you don't need to whale out, ball the fuck out. There's ways to AP HP reset or HP reset, HP wash without downing thousands of dollars into the game, and we'll get to that soon. But
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's move on to the.
Let's move on
This
and
is
just
probably the
quickly.
most.
Oh,
I
sorry. I'll just quickly chime in. So,
go on,
first
go
of
on.
all, this guy who's trying to buy my One Piece card just lowballed me by $10. So I'm about to mute this chat so it doesn't pop up again. I'm still selling to him, but he's like, bro.
Yeah,
Anyways,
fuck that guy.
mute for 1 hour. Okay, and then the other thing is that with these HP resets going on sale, I
Mm,
think we can all pretty much agree that doesn't matter what role you are. Maybe if you're strictly a merchant, right?
yeah,
It might feel rewarding for you to eventually merge up to however many million mesos required to buy AP resets. But for anyone else, anyone that remotely wants to play the game and hit fourth job or even third job,
yeah,
they're not gonna like if HP washing is only gated by spending real cash, even if
of
it's
course.
50 cents per AP resets. That's still $250
Right.
for you to HP wash for 100 levels. So that's way too much. Um, Now, what we're gonna move on to next, as Joe Hawk said, we're gonna talk about modern day sandbox HP washing solutions.
Now
So what
this
does
is
that
the
mean?
exciting shit.
This is the exciting stuff. This is the equivalent of you guys play Global Maple Story. Like I know some of you guys out there play Global Maple Story. You know how
I do.
Nexon has made it so when you log on, you only need to click the blue book on the left side of your screen, and it'll have all your preset daily quests from there.
Mm-hmm.
So just click it, you open it, you hit accept all, and then you go to like, well, I'm like permanently stuck at what's the level 260 area, bro? I forgot. Like I've been in that area for like so long, man.
Cernium.
Anyways, yeah, you go to Burning Cernium, you go kill some of those guards, and then once you're done doing your 3K kills, you come back, it gives you some soul Erda and some other shit. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about. Like, make it a daily. Make it a daily that you can spend 15 minutes,
Oh
20
god,
minutes,
dailies.
maybe even 30 minutes, and you'll be able to be rewarded with like 5 AP resets. And
Oh.
this method that we're talking about is not a hybrid. So with this method, you cannot buy AP resets. And what that means is every character progresses equally. Let's say for example,
Ah, I see what you
a
mean
doctor
now. I see what you
a
mean now.
doctor and a lawyer, right? They work 80-hour weeks. They make like 20 times my net worth. And then they come home on a Friday night as their only night to play before they got to go see their wife and kids over the weekend. Like, there's no way for them to gain an edge in the HP department. Of course, there's probably ways for them to gain advantage in the equipment department, maybe some other things. Maybe they get into like really good guilds or whatever. But if we're just strictly talking about HP, this is completely time gated. It's time gated just like how GMS is time
Right,
gated,
it's
where
like arcane symbols, but instead of getting damage from arcane symbols, you get HP and MP instead.
you get HP and MPN. I know, like for before you guys say, "Oh, you can buy Arcane Symbol in the auction house now." Like we're talking about like when it first came out. We're talking about when Soul does when. Actually, no, screw that. Yo, I play on Bear, so that's why I said you can trigger an auction house. Yo, motherfuckers don't even go auction house, man. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So this is the stuff that you guys are used to, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't pay for this. You have to just slowly grind it up. And in a sense, and I'll just say this right now, depending on how long and excruciating Nexon makes it, like if it's just log on, click a few NPCs, be
Yeah.
done with it, fine. But if you gotta kill like, well, in old school Maple Story, you don't got full map attacks like that. So let's say you gotta kill 200 mobs for it, right? That becomes a daily. And the concept of dailies, I know it's not everyone's thing.
It's
So
yeah.
let's talk about that, right? Do you like dailies? You don't like dailies? What do you think about this concept?
Well, personally, I'm not a fan of dailies, but the way that you met, like, see, I'm not a fan of dailies because in modern GMS, you need to do dailies in order to to actually do damage, right? Some of these mobs in like later on, if you don't have enough arcane power, symbol power, sacred symbol power, you literally don't hit for shit, okay? That is something that I personally don't like because if I leave the game for a year and come back, well damn, like I'm so behind, right? For the way that I see Maple Story is you get damage from either scrolling your items or getting lucky with the cubes or whatever you might consider, damage upgrades or equipment upgrades. I want to be able to leave the game one day and come back and my character is still intact, okay? I
Mhm.
like the way that you explained the modern way of dailies because I think dailies are still a great way for people to like be able to progress. but I don't think it should be progression with damage. And the thing is, some of these classes are broken. Like thieves are fucking broken, but the trade-off is they're super squishy and they die to like bosses in one hit. But
Yeah.
if you add dailies, not only does that help with you getting tankier slowly on without needing to spend money, but it's only one character, right? So you have like you can do dailies on all your characters, which means you can slowly get your characters tankier and tankier as long as you log in every day, which incentivizes people to log in.
Yeah, for sure. But I just want to quickly, I know some of us are already thinking this. Wildfire9788 says, I come home from my job to play a game. Dailies make a game feel like another job. Hey, by the time summer comes around, I don't know if you're gonna still have your job, but anyways, yeah, I agree. Like a lot of people, depending on how grueling that daily is, if you're killing for 20 minutes, like that adds up, man. That's not just free time that we have anymore as kids. Even if they make it so you have to log on, click an NPC, and you gotta wait like 2 minutes for the game to load, another one
Mm-hmm.
minute or so to get into a game, like that's time that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my thoughts on this is kind of mixed. I
Yeah.
definitely think it's better than the strict cash shop only HP washing, but making people do a daily as the only way of getting HP. Now, another thing I want to mention is
Mm-hmm.
think about the logistics of how this works, right? We're
Okay.
talking about fucking HP washing, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna log into your 150 base in Nightlord to kill 200 monsters. Like the math is not mathing. Like, how does that even work, right?
Right. It doesn't.
So you will have to like lead your own character, or maybe it's like a collection quest instead. And if it's a collection quest,
Yeah.
Johab, you talk about you like merching, right? It's time to merch those ETC jobs that people are collecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to see this, but I think you know if it's anything else, let's say for the example of sacred symbols, arcane symbols,
Yeah.
you're killing, you're collecting items to get more damage, sure, because you already have damage to start with. But if it's for the sake of HP washing, like you have no damage on your character that you're trying to get more HP on. So I don't think it makes the most sense. Now, obviously, in modern sandbox environments, you don't gotta kill, you don't gotta collect, just click a few buttons. I
Mm.
think if we're talking about dailies in the sense you just click,
Yeah.
then I'm in full support of it, right? Because
Y-
Nexon gets what they want.
You're
One Nexon,
in full support or you're not in full support.
I am in full support if
Oh.
it's
Okay.
just
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because Nexon gets what they want, which is get players online, get as much playtime racked up as possible. Because even though playtime does not directly equate to more money spent, like there's a positive correlation there. So they want to see people log on, they want to see people be on the game. Now, obviously, for them, it's a lot more enticing than to force players to do like 200 kills a day
Yeah.
instead of just clicking a few buttons.
Yeah.
But I think the balance between it is very fine, and just letting people click buttons is a lot more intuitive and acceptable by most of the players. I
Right.
don't know what Chad thinks, but what do you think?
I mean, I'm down. Whether for me, I'm indifferent. I'm like whether you have to clear mobs or not, it doesn't matter to me because I'll be doing it regardless. Um, it's just like the thing about HP and MP is just as another as another point. Like not everyone is going to need to HP wash if that makes sense. This is going to be more beneficial for like thieves and bowmen, right? Mages, honestly, like I think you get enough mana to be able to tank most things as long as your magic guard is up. And warriors, you're warriors.
But
Uh,
just one thing I want to chime in,
yeah, yeah,
Gerard.
yeah.
That is definitely true, but I also think how easy HP washing is will also dictate what people play, right?
It will,
Say
yes.
say if someone like let's say HP washing is impossible, you can only get it from the cash shop if you pay real money, then I think there's gonna be a lot less Night Lords 6 months into the game's run
Yo, what
than
up,
if
Shamana?
HP washing is just like you log on, you get it.
Could you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah. So HP washing, if it's done by letting people log on and they get it automatically, you're gonna see a lot more Night Lords than if you have to pay for HP washing. Hello?
Of course, of course. Sorry, I just got a message. I had to mute it.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, which means like then does that mean you need to do more dailies compared to like other classes if you're a Night Lord? Like what do you,
No,
like
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if getting AP resets is easy, then you're
uh-huh.
gonna see a lot more Nihilords than if
Oh, I see. It'll change the dichotomy of like the class balance.
yeah, that's a big ass word, bro.
Sorry. Like
Oh, bro, I make
I mean,
I
like
know what you're
it.
talking about,
What
bro.
like then? Like let's say the dailies, right? The dailies are easy to do, right? That would mean that there are more Night Lords in the game. Okay.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah.
mean if that's the case, like what happens to Warriors? Does Warriors just become like GG? If you know, like
So I think the long term of Warrior is yeah, it does become pretty GG.
uh huh.
Especially like we've seen in the teaser video, if Nihilords and Bowmasters can attack melee range, then there's no reason to play it. Why would you play a class that's the same HP as a range character for your
Mm,
melee? Like there's no benefits to it.
yeah.
I guess you can say it's like there's cleave, like there's multi-target, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
bro, just just kill it faster, man.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with this modern version, it it benefits the players more than it benefits Nexon. So like even though it's awesome, like I do you really see Nexon doing something like this? Unless
Nah,
like
they will never do something like this. Like, I mean, I I think it's a very low hanging fruit for Nexon to monetize off AP resets if they decide to have differential HP scaling in the game. So while I can see Nexon just not doing this, my question would then be like, why? Like, you have people willing to pay for it. Why not just sell it to them? But anyways,
right.
like I think it's
Yeah, like I feel like this is more not more like a person versus person, like opinion versus opinion. This is more of a HP washing. The whole thing about HP washing is more like Nexon versus the community because like there are gonna be people who defend HP washing like I do, but that number of people is so low. You know what I mean? Like people who will benefit from HP washing existing is not going to. It's going to benefit Nexon so much more than the players themselves,
yeah.
and I think that is the issue because in the end of the day, this is not our game. We like whatever fucking happens to Maplestory Classic, we're just gonna have to accept it, right? Because we're gonna be
Yeah.
playing it regardless, right? But we're just mentioning that this is a way for us to like solve the HP washing problem. You guys say, like I hear people say, why don't we just remove HP washing? Because bro, money, bro, right?
No, no, no. Money aside, there's also reasons to not remove HP washing. Y'all, if you guys haven't seen my latest video, just go check it out when you have a
Yeah,
chance.
check out Red Snowshoe. You know what I'm saying? He's uploading basically like 3 to 4 vids a week
Yeah, as
on
long
some
as I can keep
crazy
up.
shit.
But if they make every single class start out with the same HP, there's no reason to play Dark Knight. Why would you play a class
You wouldn't need to play Dark Knight.
that requires like triple the input and attention during fourth drop if you can just go play Night Lord? Shadow Shifter, hold down one key, flash jump everywhere. Like
Right.
there's no point of playing classes that are innately designed to be beefier, because then everyone would be equally as beefy. So
Exactly.
the originally beefy classes, the downsides that they had, which is being melee range, not doing as much single target DPS, now is just downsides only. You have no upsides over the range classes. So that's why I really don't like, we're talking more about the fourth item now already, which is equal scaling.
Hmm.
I think equal scaling, for me, like out of all four of these categories, I would hate to see equal scaling the most.
Could you explain what like simply what equal scaling means in case
Equal
somebody?
scaling means, like, you guys know how like Dark Knight has hyper body, but warrior classes start out with a skill that gets you like 50 HP every time you level up, and like another 50 HP every time you put a point into HP.
Yeah.
That skill's gone. Or if it's not gone,
Oh, I
every
see.
class has that skill. So by level 120, every class will have like 5,000 HP, for example.
I
And
see.
there's no way to manipulate your HP other than maybe wearing like face accessories, scroll for HP, that kind of thing. And I think that
No,
You know,
I
Boston
really don't
Celtics
like
are
that
doing
idea.
way too much, man. Like they're changing way too much about the game. It's not even old school Maple anymore. It's just a regressed reboot, bro. Like
This is
that's just
what
just
we've
like
seen in the trailer. Like equal scaling is basically what we were like what Copperson saw in the trailer, right?
yeah, yeah. Carperson had the sharp eye. He caught a lot of it, and I think from everything I've seen so far, equal scaling, I hate it. I despise
Mm,
everything about it. It ruins the game in so many ways that were not intended by, yo, bro, Nemi, bro. Like, look at your coworkers talk, man. Like, you might be the lead designer, but you ain't the you know what I'm saying? Like, we need some strategy behind this. You can't just like
right,
bring back
right,
old pixels and old items and old gameplay, but make it so everyone start out and progresses on an equal ground. Like,
right.
bro,
Because then
like
you're gonna have to like
metal,
rebalance.
bro.
You're gonna have to rebalance the other classes if thieves become too strong because everyone doesn't like if HP doesn't become a problem, right? Then
Yeah,
nobody's gonna play any other class. This is why I think thieves make sense. Even though everyone's like, "Oh, Night Lord is the most DPS, it's the coolest." Sure, but you get one shot, and you're supposed to get one shot. In my
yeah,
opinion, you're supposed to get one shot, and you're supposed to find a way to balance that out. Whether it is to get hyper body on your team, whether that is to get HP items from like accessories or whatever, or whether it's HP washing or not. But we know how much people hate HP washing and just refuse to understand the thing behind it. But everyone has their own opinions, and
mhm. And Genghis Khan. Sorry,
Genghis
yeah,
cunt.
are we done? Genghis Khan said MMORPG emphasis on the role-playing game element. The classes fundamentally need to have pros and cons over the other classes. 100% agree.
Hundred
Right?
percent.
There's no reason why you want to buff Nilord's HP but keep everything the same about it because your game is just going to be full of Nilords and Bowmasters running around. Like, we need role-playing. Fighters are fighters, magicians are magicians, thieves are thieves, etc. So I think this one, equal scaling.
Mm,
Somehow we just jumped into equal scaling.
mm.
This is a hard no from me. I will tell you,
I'm
if
gonna have to
equal
agree with
scaling is the
that.
thing, I'm 100% playing a Night Lord.
Yeah, same. I mean, at that point, like, I'd feel bad for anyone who plays hero unless they're having fun with it.
Yo, what
Yeah.
if they introduce equal scaling, but they make Ilby drop rates like 100 times harder than it is now?
Then it'd be Artail, but even worse.
And
Okay.
more bots.
But yeah, like, there's just like I just a side tangent, but I don't like how the way Artail does their throwing stars, man. Like I could understand it being
Yeah.
rare and being more elusive and all that, but
I think Artail's throwing star is pretty much a social experiment from the devs. Like, yo,
yo, for real.
what if we like gate this item that everyone wants, but we just make it so like unless you're botting for like 80 hours a week, it does not fucking drop.
No, dude, you're telling me, bro.
I know you farmed it,
I
like
fucking grinded that shit to
you
no
grinded it,
avail.
you didn't see any.
I didn't
Like
see
it's the
shit. I
game
didn't
is
see a single.
the
Yeah.
game is fundamentally broken in more ways than one. It's crazy, but at the same time, I respect it. It's like if like you're in middle school, you're grade three, your
Mm.
class homeroom teacher is like, "Hey man, you get the power now. Do what you gotta do," and you're like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make it so like everyone gets like 2 minutes for lunch." Like that's how they're
No.
doing Ilbies on Rtail. Like that shit is not cool, man. But at the same time, like you gotta understand, right? It's like
No, but
your
I
childhood
respect it.
fantasies fulfilled.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, hey, we just gotta be glad that hopefully that shit doesn't happen in Maple Classic. Although I am not confident, like you know what I mean, that it could happen. Anything could happen in this game. Like this is
Life
all in the end of the day. This is all just speculation, right?
is also
And
speculation.
we're also only talking about like the diehard tryhards. Like none of this matters if you're just gonna be a casual henny ho. If you are a
Yeah,
henny ho in the
if
chat,
you and girl, if you and your girl playing Terraria or like Stardew Valley right now, and you just got, hey babe, wanna like, I can't wait for Classic Maple to release. Maybe we like stop fighting so much, right? Maybe we can like, get back on good terms,
get
and
some
then
friendship
game,
rings.
yeah, get some friendship rings, and then game comes out. You guys are gonna do some KPQs together. Like this is like is not important, man. But it's for the people that don't have girlfriends. Girlfriends left them
Me,
you main Genshin Impact or Reboot right now, this guide's for you. Like you need to know the impact of what AP resets will do to you. And
for
also I
real.
just saw that Light said I am using that money for food and clothes. Um
What are you reading?
F in the chat for Light. Light, I hope your life turns around a little bit better, but hopefully you'll have a bit more money to spend on the game by then. Not saying that you have to spend, but
Hey, you can always merch, bro.
yeah. If you're in the live stream talking about how to min max AP resets and you're looking to get better food and clothes, it's a little concerning. Anyways, should
Anyways,
we move on to the third one? So hybrid,
yeah,
right?
this is the
Now
final
for
one,
hybrid,
right? Okay.
there's so many ways to address this. We can either do the purchasable AP resets, we can do the daily AP resets. Where do you want to start?
Um, let's start with the purchasables, man.
Start with the purchasables. Okay. Yeah, I think just going back to it, this is the logical solution for Nexon. If there's a item that is so crucial to a player's progression,
Yeah.
why not monetize off of it for people that can pay for it, right? But just don't make
Right.
it the only way to do it. Like let's say you can do a daily. Let's say we're talking about the clicking daily, because I really just don't think killing 200 a day makes much sense, especially because most of his player base are going to be in the 25 to 35 age range. Um, you need to make it so if you're doing the daily, you log on for 3 minutes, you click a couple things, maybe you get two AP resets, right? Or
Right.
maybe let's say you get five AP resets.
You
I
know
think
what?
that's the more.
And to add on to that, they could add those battle passes that where you buy like every month you spend like $30 for a battle pass and you get more from your dailies. They could add that shit too if they really wanted to.
Yeah, hey, maybe they'll sell I like what you said, right? Maybe we can talk about that as a third thing, like battle pass royal, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know how in GMS right now, they
Yeah.
started doing these things. I think it's the stupidest things ever
Mm.
because I'm not an avid player, but it works. It's those yellow boxes that every week on a Monday you double click on it, you get like 80 XP 3Xs or something.
Yeah.
Use it for like
Fuck
4
that
weeks,
shit,
right?
by the way. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, that stuff is like because I never log on enough for that to. I just want everything up front because usually when I play Global Maplestory, I'll play like religiously for like 3 days and I'll stop playing. But it makes sense if like you can subscribe to something like that. Let's say you know one AP reset is 3,100, so five AP reset is 15,500, and then four times that is what 30,
30.
31. 62. It's 62K a next, right? If you're just buying
Oh my
four
god.
stacks of five.
Oh
But let's
god.
say they do a crate where
Yeah.
it's 50K instead, but you gotta log on every single week to claim that.
Yeah, so
I can
it
see
is
more.
worth as long as you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And this is, by the way, guys, this is not a battle pass for like EXP or damage. We're strictly talking about HP washing here. We're trying to figure out a way for thieves to survive in bosses because this is why this HP washing argument started in the first place. Is because thief is the most fucking popular class, but they fucking suck at bossing without HP washing. But without HP washing, how the fuck are they gonna survive, right? What are they gonna do to make to make a replacement for HP washing because you guys hate HP washing. So what's the solution,
Well,
right?
what's
We
the
don't know.
solution? What's the solution? And chat. I know. We're completely in agreement with you guys.
Yes,
Fuck
we
Battle Pass.
yeah,
We're just
fuck a
we're only
battle
bringing up
pass.
potential things that they might do, but I hate Battle Pass. Joe Hawk hates Battle Pass. We all hate Battle Pass,
You
okay?
should
But
be able to play the game without needing to fucking log in every single day, bro. All right,
yeah,
that's just for every game, man. Okay, not just
yeah,
Maplestory. Literally every game should not fucking force you to become like slaves. Even though I
yeah.
am one, like voluntarily.
It's chill. But like, I mean, okay, so back to the Battle Pass, right? Like,
Yeah,
in all
yeah,
seriousness, if they were gonna have AP resets in the cash shop, anyways, right?
yeah. Mm,
Which I'm in support of. I'm in support of like the whales who have more money than time. They can log onto the game.
yeah.
Maybe they're like fucking saturation divers, bro. They only go home like once every month, right?
Mm.
And they get to play for like 1 week. Or maybe they're like Timothy Tatamoe and they're in the army. They can't do dailies every day.
This guy said, "Bro's really asking for decent hyper body." Yo, low
Yeah.
key, low key.
Yo, should they just like introduce like nebulites? Yo, S rank nebulites on pants, bro.
I've been
Decent
down.
sharp eyes on the gloves, man.
Yo, that shit would go for a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a
Fucking straight
bill.
potential stack, man. Yo, just bring B-pop back while we're at it too.
No, don't
No, no,
fucking
no, but
bring
for
back
real,
Depop.
Curse, as you were saying, right? I'm personally pro whales because, and this always comes up. I'll explain this for the last time,
Yeah,
right? Maybe I'll like my patience will
bro's getting heat.
replenish.
Well, you got 5 minutes left, son.
So I'm pro whale because the more whales there are in the game just means the more free the game is to play for the rest of us,
Exactly. We should cater
right?
to both
You don't want
free
to
to
get in a
players.
fucking situation where it's like Maple Story 2, bro. You want the game to be Maple Story 2 where nobody pays to win, the game's gone in a year. Like that's not what we want, man. We want the game to last for at
Exactly.
least decades on decades. And you only get
Rackets
that
on
if there's
rackets.
whales playing the game, right? So you
Yes.
want to be pro
Agreed.
next on monetizing the game as long as it's not at the expense of rest of us free to play players.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like as long as you make the link between free to players and whales exist, aka make cash items tradable, I think this is fine. I don't think anyone would be complaining. Because when more whales exist, that means AP resets, if they existed in Classic Maple, they'd be cheaper too, meso wise. Right?
Yeah.
To strictly go pay to win, you're playing reboot. To strictly be or sorry, free to play, you're going reboot. To strictly be pay to win, nobody's gonna fucking play that shit, right? It's gonna be like GMS modern. There has to be like this middle ground where you can like mingle with both. You know what I mean? Like if dailies need to exist, fucking make it happen then, I guess, right? But it will help out the whales who maybe don't want to log in every single day to still want to play the game. Have you heard of a whale who likes doing dailies? Think about it.
Yo, Genghis Gun brought out something. Yo, imagine you're at the 12 end of your, sorry, 12 end, tail
Yeah.
end of your 24-hour stream, and
Yeah.
you're like popping open the video, and like the final frame of that segment of Classic World is like a dev right there, HP washing on their fucking screen, just got increases. Yo,
Bro,
imagine, bro.
then
Or like,
we wouldn't even need to have this stream. We'd be like, yo,
Or like,
hey.
they're in the fucking cash shop with like a one of those retro $10 looking orange Nexon point cards, just fucking redeeming the code right there. Coming soon, Classic World. Stay tuned.
Dude, I'd be hyped. I'd be hyped. I wouldn't even like I would I'd be like, hey, bring it on, bring it on.
Drew Dragon says you guys better not still be playing this game a decade from now. Hey, I told myself I quit like 15 years ago. I'm still here. So what do we know?
Same, same. I mean, I never told myself I'd quit, but here I am still anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, guys, like this stream, it was just more for clickbait, to be honest with you, because we know how important this shit is to you guys. But I feel like a good, and this is no hate, it is kind of hate, but not really. I feel like a good 90-ish% of you guys don't know what you're talking about, and you just heard HB washing bad from your pro friend who used to be friends with Tiger, allegedly. And to be honest with you, this live stream will not help with understanding HP washing. In fact, you probably are more confused, if anything else. To be honest, like ultimately speaking, whether it exists or whether it doesn't, we're all going to be playing the game anyways, and it's not that important. And you guys should probably get angry at something else more important, because we don't care. We're only rage baiting you more, ultimately speaking. And this video is the same thing. And lastly, for me at least, I'm about to say my last thing. If you want to have any closing thoughts,
Yeah, yeah. I was just quickly
nobody,
chiming in. I disagree with all of that, but continue.
nobody like not everyone is going to be a pro. Not everyone is going to be HP washing. Some people will be blissfully unaware of this entire thing, and maybe in the end of the day, Maple Classic will come up with some bullshit way to give HP to the people, to the classes that need it, but only time will tell, right? And yeah, that's it for me. It's not that important, and I'm gonna stop giving a fuck. That last video that I made, that's the last time I'll ever mention HP washing ever again. It was a big fucking mistake. But yeah, Cuisine, you got
So,
30 seconds. You got 30 seconds to chill, bro.
all right, bro. So I'll just quickly chime in. So I think Johawk is more of the merchant
Yes.
slash content creator type. if he's grinding on a white knight at level 70 to 80 trying to hunt for an item, he's doing it because he loves putting out content for you guys, right? For those of you that enjoy watching him. But for me, I can speak for myself. This matters a lot to me. How HP washing, if it is a concept that is introduced to the game, I think it will really, really, really impact the popularity and the longevity of the game, right? If it's managed well, the game will grow. If it's managed very poorly, right? If AP resets drop rates are like LB drop rates on RTL, like this shit's gonna die in like fucking a month. So this matters more to me as a gamer than anything else in the game. They can introduce Maple Claws, Maple Candeos, they can introduce secondary statless weapons. I don't think it's gonna matter as much as whether HP washing is a thing and how they decide to deal with it. And very much like what Joe Hawk said, a lot of this is all speculation at the end of the day. We're just spitballing and thinking of all the different scenarios that could potentially occur to hopefully resolve the situation between Nexon and the players amicably. And we just have to go and see. Maybe like I wasn't previously subscribed to the Maplestory YouTube channel, but since subscribing after that second anniversary video, I see they do videos pretty often. They actually just did one
Oh, did
about
they?
more yesterday. Yeah. So hell, hopefully, maybe we don't even need to wait until Maple Fest this October to find out more about the game. Maybe they'll start trickling out tidbits here and there,
Yeah, I hope
and
so.
yeah, we're just gonna have to see.
Well said, man. I
And
appreciate you.
hold on, one
Yeah,
last
yeah.
shout out. Nasuma says, "Cuisine, where are you playing now? I'm playing Legends, bro. Come find me.
Yeah, pull up. He's at Force of Golems right now, Channel 4.
Where's the golems?
Hey, yo, hey, anyways, our time is up here. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate Red Snowshoe. Please go check out Red Snowshoe if you haven't already. Bro's gonna become the number one MapleStory Classic player. He's gonna zoom past everybody else. I'll try to do the same. I got some ideas going on too. We'll try to do these live streams more often. If you guys ever have like make sure to leave in the comments if you guys want us to do like these hour live streams about, anything about Classic Maple, anything that's about OSMS. We're always listening, not really, but we're always listening. If you really want us to listen, check out the fucking Discord link in the description. Thank you very much for watching. All right, we're signing out here. Cuisine, anything else to say?
Uh, that's it. Thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night, and
Yes,
we'll see you in our
sir.
next video.
Peace, peace. All love, guys. You have a good night.